carers and service users see things differently, I think, than the professionals. And as carers, we could perhaps pinpoint situations that professionals wouldn't necessarily see. So I think it's more a case of not saying that somebody isn't able to think outside of the box, but I think that when you're involved in that situation, then you would know the sorts of things that people would be concerned and bothered about. So using co-researchers in the way that this research project used the co-researchers, I think, is definitely a model of excellent practice.
There were different things, the frustration of not getting diagnosis, a lot of the things, the isolation that you can feel, these things you could relate to, and they stood out a lot. And then you're very tied as a carer, as the dementia progresses. You can't leave that patient, you can't leave the person with dementia. You couldn't leave them for 10 minutes on their own, because you have to be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I think you have to do that to know what it feels like.
The first project that we did, my role was a community researcher, as somebody who was going to be trained from the scratch, then go out to collect information, interview people, speak to people, hear their stories, and then put them together, and then analyze, and then go out to present the findings. There was so much information that they were not aware of. But for example, the issue of where asylum seekers and refugees could go to the GPs and tell them how they feel, how they are having nightmares and not sleeping, not eating, and some people say that they have mental health, but in some countries mental health is becoming mad. So they didn't appreciate mental health term, they misinterpreted it. So what they really needed, they needed somebody to listen to them without telling them you have mental health issues, because refugees and asylum seekers, according to their culture, their background, some of them don't have that understanding of what mental health is. If somebody is said to be mental health, the person is mad. So asylum seekers and refugees didn't want to be called mad. They wanted somebody to listen to them.
Yeah, having both service users and researchers, perhaps I should say academics actually rather than researchers, because I think we're regarding ourselves as researchers. But having that team doing facilitating was useful, yeah, because again, thinking of my own experience, I was able to kind of bring my that experience to the group, and that kind of having some having common experience with them helped in, certainly helped me, and I think helped in understanding where they were coming from, and I suppose because I had that experience, I maybe kind of able to kind of ask the powerful questions at the right time, and there's that kind of level to it.
Some of the issues could have seemed very trivial to a professional, but when you've been in that position, you know just how important some of these things are. And I felt the carers opened up and spoke freely, and sometimes they would say, well, how did you feel when this happened, or what did you do when you were in this position? And sometimes in the conversation, because it was a relaxed conversation and we talked to each other, we got the answers to the questions without having to ask them. They just came out in the conversation. And I think they felt very relaxed, that they knew they were talking to another carer, and it was just a very relaxed situation. And I think we perhaps got to see the whole picture, because sometimes other things are going on in the background. The carer could have ill health or financial worries and other problems. And I think we came away with a much fuller picture.